The pros and cons of being a solo dolo. Okay, I just posted it. So, all right, Work It Out Wednesday. This is happening every Wednesday. Of course, there are going to be some tweaks that I have to make along the way. And thank you for your patience for riding it out with me. Work It Out Wednesday is basically a way for me to respond to all the questions and comments that I get, and in a more open way, because I believe that your story can support other people across the universal, I don't know, experience that we're all having here. So today we are going to go through a couple of just as we did the last time, except this time I have more time to do it. I have more time on my hands. So here's the first situation. So we've got a man who's in his early 20s and is a date to marry type of person. And maybe some of you kind of feel that way about yourself. Like, I don't want to date anybody unless I know I'm going to marry them. But, the question is like, how do you know you want to marry them if you don't date them first? And he describes himself as very slow to trust. He wants someone to know that they want to commit to him, but he himself struggles with that. So that's kind of what I'm talking about here in the first case of like, can I actually get married? So there are a couple of things that are going on here. So there is a little bit of a need for personal discernment. So when you meet somebody, of course, first impressions are everything, and sometimes they can lie to us. Sometimes first impressions um, are not an accurate picture of who the person or people or groups are. Um, there's also this need for a guarantee, which, if you find something that is a guarantee, like please let me know, because I have yet to come across anything in life that is actually a guarantee, that actually, right off the bat is going to be very certain that it is a fit or a work. So anywho, excuse me. So for this person, it's really hard to know the future um, if you struggle to be in the present. So when you're going on a date with a person and you have this agenda that, oh, I need to know right then and there if they're going to marry me or not, or if I'm going to marry them, or if they want to get married, right? Like we have taken ourselves out of being able to just enjoy the other person. And so while I don't want to bash this person, like it can feel like a real struggle. Like there's a lot of attachment stuff going on here where we're slow to trust somebody, but we really need them to commit to us. And then, I do wonder like what is protective about certainty? There is real um there's safety in being able to predict something. There's safety in being able to have certainty, mainly because we're not taken by surprise. Excuse me. And so really, my what I would say to this person, and of course, if there is some attachment wounds going on there, then you would definitely want to work with an attachment coach or therapist or relationship expert, or maybe even do some somatic work with me. But really, the first step is being able to stay present with the person without, abandoning your own values. If you really do want to date to marry, then that can be the intention. That's the intention we can set with this person, and not really put any pressure on them or you. Like we've already said it out loud, a little bit of transparency, a little bit of honesty and directness. And so for you, sir, I do believe I've worked with so many couples, I've worked with so many singles who have found their mates, that I truly believe that there is somebody out there for you. And maybe you just need to do a little bit of that self work, a little bit of that self discovery to allow yourself to be just a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more trusting of the person sitting next to you or across from you. And believe it or not, that trust actually takes time to build up. It actually takes time for you to be able to talk to another person with transparency and honesty um and really hope and believe that they will give it back to you. So I hope that was kind of helpful. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I didn't get too far deep into, the different potentials of what's going on. But really, really, the important piece is for you to know that it's possible for you to trust somebody, and it's possible for your system to believe that you're lovable. It just might take a little bit of time, might take a little bit of effort. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the next one. So we've got this next one here. The situation is there was a disagreement. And the person who messaged in, uh, thought it was like the disagreement on a common idea was like divorce level, like, we're going to separate. We're not going to be together anymore. And so they were kind of questioning, how do I know? Like, how do I know when a relationship is meant for me or not? And so here, what I'm just kind of saying is like, there is no playbook to finding out whether or not a relationship is for you. What, at least in the work that I do with individuals and couples, is that we just kind of see what is nourishing enough, like what feels true to you. My guess is that if you're looking for a reason to break up with somebody, that's probably not your forever. Like, that's probably not somebody that you're meant to be with. And that actually might be really hard to come to terms with. So, what's really important is for you to get super clear about your intentions for the relationship that you're in. Why do you like that person? Why do you want to be with that person? What about that person says life partner? Because if you're looking for a reason just from like a simple disagreement, depending on if it's a core value, if it's a core belief, if it has to do with like your identity, your sense of self, then that's probably a pretty big reason to say to part ways. But if it's like the difference between like liking a certain cereal or being a coffee or a tea person, well, now like there's something deeper happening there, and you really need to kind of do a little bit of self work to figure out like, okay, if my system is heightened to not want to be with this person, is that me? Is that them? Is it the relationship? Like, what might need to change? And there's like a multitude of things that could need to change. So, just like really quick, like there could be like a sense of not feeling safe. So if you're looking for a reason to get out of a relationship, there's a chance that safety or trust was broken in some way. Did the person cheat on you? Did they lie to you? Did they steal from you? Did they deceive you in some way? Did they uh promise something and then didn't follow through? Like, there's a lot of things going on there. So I hope that really what you do here is you just kind of self reflect on what could be prompting you to want to get out. Like, we don't have to look for a reason. Like, why do we have to look for a reason? Why can't we just leave? Um, or why can't we stay? Hmm. Anyway, okay, so there's that one. And the last one, I'll share my screen again. So this is a 35-year-old who has never been on a date, and they feel like women are not interested in them. And like all their partners have partners, like all their friends have partners. And like they feel really alone, they feel really isolated. So first and foremost, you can come hang out with me and Mind Your Vessel, or you can come hang out with me here at Work It Out Wednesdays. But again, just like the first person that I talked about, like everybody's lovable. Um, Everybody. I know that's kind of hard to say. I know you might have some kind of reaction to me saying that, but in reality, I truly believe that there is somebody out there for everybody. And there is a chance, a really high chance. My guess is that there is a core wound for this person, for you, 35-year-old. I'm just going to call you Nick. I don't know what your actual name is, but um, you know, my guess is that this loneliness, like this inability or hesitancy or, you know, interest, but like pull back with women, with dating, um, my guess is that someone down the way, probably your mom. I don't really like talking about caregivers, but there's a really high chance that that person really made it unsafe to be in communion, to be in relationship with that with that gender, if you will. Um, you could also be gender fluid. You could also be interested in men. I don't know. I don't know your situation, but you might want to explore that wound there. There's a chance that you might have gotten severely harmed by a woman when you were growing up, or you had a lot of unrequited love, and so even though you were putting it out, it wasn't being well received. And then there's also kind of like admitting the field of hesitancy or apprehension. So, even it really doesn't know gender, whether it's a woman, whether it's a man, or whether it's somebody who's non-binary or gender neutral. Like being apprehensive to being in relationship with somebody else in such vulnerability, like it is really difficult, especially if we've been wounded. So I think that you really have potential. Um, and at the same time, you might want to do some work. Like you might just want to do some work. Okay. And then I had a question come in last minute that was about body processing. So somebody had asked me, what does it actually look like for the body to process? And the short answer is it looks like a lot of like kind of small digestible bites of what you experienced. And the long answer is it is innately, inherently individual. So body processing is different for everyone, and it's crazily individualized. So if you are wanting to do body processing, but like you haven't, like if you want to experience through some of the life events that you've survived, you really want to work with somebody one on one, or do a course, or read a book, to really help yourself kind of understand your own terrain. Because at the end of the day, each body is going to process differently. And it really does kind of take time for you to slowly be able to offer yourself something different. And that's really kind of it. Um, just like the 3 cases that kinda came in who were like, "Oh, I don't have a relationship and I really want a relationship. I want a long-term partner, but I need them to commit to me on day 1." Like, that's a lot of pressure for you and the other person. And if we're apprehensive about it, if we haven't really helped ourselves, um if we haven't helped ourselves understand our own life experience and perspective, um, it could be really wonky. In the second case, we have the person who like needs a reason to leave. Like, just leave. Like, what's keeping you in that relationship? Like, why do you need like a plausible reason to end a relationship that's no longer serving you? And of course, this last one who believes that they're not lovable. I believe that you're lovable. And I think that there is somebody out there for you. We just maybe need to clear out some debris of some of those old life experiences that are no longer serving you. Yeah. Okay, so that's Work It Out Wednesday. The information of how to ask questions, how to, kind of get your life experience answered, I guess, get your questions answered, get your curiosities answered. You can send me an email, you can message me on Instagram. I think I might set up a community here on YouTube because like that's new now. But anyway, thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.